But self-care and getting quiet and getting going within should be your primary focus, because realistically, these things are all saying the same thing in a different. These are calling you to rest and calling you to say no. Boundary up. Okay? So that's the energy that you need to be in. Okay? All right. Moving on. Moving on, moving on. Also being called to this tiger I had the deck not flipped face down like I normally have it, but the tiger is sitting there looking at me. He's staring at me big time. Like, hey, you need to talk about me. So I'm going to talk about the tiger real quick, because I'm feeling called to it. Very, very drawn to it. This may be a future energy. It's fire as well. Shoot. I couldn't get over there's something about eyes. So I don't know what it is. If you have a very deep gaze, and really the eyes are the lunar force, ease and darkness, feminine energy. You need to come back get in balance with your feminine energy. And we all have both masculine and feminine. But your feminine energy is like, you're nurturing and loving and caring for self and caring for others and being tender and vulnerable. And it's perhaps time for you to get in touch with that. Whether you're male, female, they, them, he, she, doesn't matter what your pronouns are. You may very well need to get in contact and really in touch with your divine feminine within. This card reminds us to take the tiger hunts at night, at one with silence and fears nothing. This card reminds us to take in the wild darkness, to allow the lunar, and you know what, shadow work. I'm being really the darkness. We like to push away the things that we find to be dark within ourselves. But the fact of the matter is, that is shadow. We have to really come to terms with our shadow and realize that they're a part of us, and it doesn't matter. We don't want to push it away and bury it. We need to figure out why we have it. Love the parts of us that need the love, and the shadow, we learn to work with it. You know what I mean? We learn to work with it and make it a positive thing, rather than pushing it aside because it's negative and it's no good and it's bad. No, it's not. It's from a trauma of some sort. You know, shadows are from a trauma. Forgive me, I look like I got big old bags under my eyes. I'm gonna put my glasses back on. I'm scaring myself. I'm tired. Anyway, maybe this is a call to me that I need to calm down and take some time for myself. So in any case, yeah, it may be time to do some big shadow work, to allow the lunar forces to soothe and heal our spirits. Sensuality, receptivity, and devotion are all heightened in the midnight hour. And the tiger takes advantage of these boons. Spend some time in silence this evening, drinking in the potent calm. You know, when everyone's in bed and it's just you and your thoughts. There is nothing to fear in the stillness except the awakening of your own power. When in balance, passionate, strong, and sensual. When out of balance, overstimulated. To bring into balance, Tritaka, candle gazing. It's a meditative state. You know, all of these things are to put us into a meditative state. If you're gazing into a candle, your mind can take you places. And you can look at it in water as well, kind of gazing into water as well, or a mirror, or anything that stimulates your vision or your visual field and takes you into kind of a meditative state can really get you working with your inners, you know what I mean? Your shadow and everything else, the things that need to come to the surface so that you can work with them, you know? Good ideas come from that as well. When you're just sitting there and you're kind of just gazing, or you're in trance, that's one of the best states to be in for bright ideas, for amazing ideas, is meditation, because downloads come from the divine, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, you know what, I need to do that. And it's very amazing. Very, very amazing. Okay, so let's move on. We have, oh, I mean, this is just beautiful. What these three cards together are saying, we have the harvest, the mushroom, and fruit. Determination, hard work, recycling, breaking down problems, and achievement, and success. In order to get to this achievement and success, you must break down problems and recycle. And put in the, you know, be determined to put in that hard work that it takes to break down these problems. Because in the end, it's going to net you amazing achievement. Absolutely, positively amazing achievement. And honestly, you know, I'm feeling called to say this is a real personal to me too. And it's like Spirit is saying, once we break down, and it's funny that I put this recycling, breaking down dark thoughts. Once we break down these dark thoughts, they're not so scary. It looks real freaking scary, but this is shadow work. Once we break down those dark thoughts, you find your higher self when you put in the determination and the hard work. And the thing is, this achievement and success, you become a teacher for others, and you can take that and travel with it. You know, I'm thinking about really taking the things that I'm learning and the achievements that I'm doing and taking them and doing retreats on how to overcome limiting beliefs and things of that nature. And it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. But Spirit is, I feel like Spirit is seriously leading. Only thing is, I don't understand the planning and action, and I will, no, I'm being called to do it now. Perhaps, hold on. Let me think about this for a minute. Okay, here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm feeling, right? I feel like you may be frustrated that something is just not coming into fruition for you like you want it to. Whatever you've been putting this hard work into, like you've been manifesting, you've been planting seeds, this and that and the third. You've been planning, but it just doesn't feel like it's coming to fruition. But you're skipping a step. The step is, there are the dark thoughts to work through. There are the shadow work that needs to be done, and you're skipping a step. You can plan and do all the actions you want, but if you don't actually work through the inner healing that needs to be done, you won't get to this success. You won't. You're supposed to be a mentor for someone. And then travel. I mean, I don't know what travel means to you. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But no matter, you're skipping a step here. You're not attending to the dark thoughts. You're not attending to the shadows. You are planning and you're seeing, you know, there is a such thing as toxic positivity. For sure. You know, I mean, it's a little, like, it's excessive. You know, I knew someone like that way back in the day. She was just always like, hey, you know, and she had all kinds of traumas inside, but never attended those. And it's toxic. Pretending to be happy all the time is not projecting true positivity. It's fake. It's wearing a mask as well. Toxic positivity and not being realistic with the inner workings and the things that are going on, that's also toxic. It's also wearing a mask and presenting as something you're not. Because nobody is positive all the time. Now, you know what? You can have joy and you can have worked through your crap, but if it's clear that you haven't worked through your junk and you're just like, yay, all the time, yeah, it doesn't work. 22. No, my glasses weren't on. 2233. Master numbers, both of them. If you don't master the inside, the shadow, you can try to be as positive as you want. But until you attend to the shadow work that needs to be done, you are just avoiding what you're actually here to teach someone else. You got to do the work. I'm really strongly being called, without looking this up, without knowing anything about this card, because I really haven't used this deck. I bought like 4 of her decks, which I really like, Sandra Ann Taylor. She's really good. I have probably 5 or 6 of her total decks, but yeah, I haven't used this one much. So let's look up Planning in Action in reverse and see what it actually says, okay? No, wait, travel was right there. Let's look at travel. Moving. You could actually be physically moving somewhere. A suitcase stands outside a beautiful door bordered by flowers, indicating there's some travel forecasted for you. This could be anything from a short driving trip to an extended vacation. However it manifests, a positive experience is at hand. There's also a possibility of relocation for you at this time. You may be buying a new house in the area or moving to another city entirely. There could be a move where your work is concerned, such as transferring of offices or going to a new job entirely. If this card is near the transformation card in your spread, some significant interchanges can be expected. This is a perfect time to make the energetic intention to move into your more joyous and optimistic mindset. But without doing this work, with the dark thoughts, that's useless. That's not coming. Let yourself travel through each day with happiness. Even if you can't get out of town, you can always take a vacation from negativity, and should. And should, because when you are manifesting, you're manifesting one way or another every single day. So keeping your thoughts from the doldrums and stuff, yes, face the shadows. Figure out where they stem from. Release the limiting beliefs behind them and move on. Do not dwell, and also take breaks. When you're working through this, you must take breaks. It's very important. You cannot get caught up removing all the limiting beliefs one after the other, after the other, after other. It's exhausting. You need to rest also.